Hey everybody, this is Maria with the Simplified Bookkeeper. I'm so excited that you have joined me for another video. And so in this video, which is part 4 of our series, Building a Winning Bookkeeping Tech Stack, we're going to talk about how to build out a simple task list for your bookkeeping work in Asana. And so before we get started, I just want to go back. Let's talk about what we've already covered in this series of videos. So in the first video, we talked about automating your payments and agreements using PandaDoc and Stripe. So if you haven't checked that one out, go back. But video 1 really talks about if you have a business where you have clients that you are signing contracts or agreements and you want a really streamlined workflow for getting them signed up with you and then making sure that those recurring payments are happening, you want to check out video number 1. Now, part 2 of the series was talking about FreshBooks as a accounting platform. And so if you don't have an accounting platform or you're looking to see what's on the market, then I recommend FreshBooks for those of you that have a service-based business. And so that's what video 2 covers, is really more of kind of the high level of the FreshBooks accounting software. And then video 3, we took a deep dive in how you can look at automating your invoicing and your payment processing using FreshBooks with Stripe. And so as you're very well familiar, there's a lot of ways that you can collect payments. And one way that's very nice through FreshBooks is their integration with Stripe. And so I really talked to you about that in part 3. And then now in video 4, we're getting to another fun topic, which maybe it's not totally fun, but here is the problem that you might face for video 4 is, as a business owner, you know that there are some basic bookkeeping activities that you need to do, but you're not really quite sure what they are or how often to do them or a way to track them. And so what I want to talk with you today is, what are some of those tasks that you can do? And then how do you track those? What is a system? What's an app that you can use to keep up with it? Because yes, right here, I have a paper planner. So I am a planner girl. I'm a paper planner girl. But I don't use this for everything. And so one thing that we use here at my business, Simplified Partners, is we use a project management system. And honestly, with the number of clients we have and how much work is going on every day, there's no way that we would be able to keep up with everything if we did not have a project management software. So as an aside, I will tell you that we do offer consulting services to those of you that are looking to implement a project management software, because I have a lot of experience in this area. I have a lot of things I've learned with a lot of different platforms. So in this video, I'm going to dive into Asana, which is the project management system that we are currently using. And what you're seeing here, what I'm sharing with you, is just the basics of what you can do to get started in managing and keeping track of your bookkeeping tasks. So first of all, before we dive into what you're looking at here in bookkeeping tasks, and specifically, I want to tell you a little bit about project management software and why it's so helpful, how it can be so helpful for you and your business. So as I mentioned before, I'm a paper planner girl. I have notes, I have things I need to do. So I'm a big believer in, when I sit down every day, I have my big 3. So what are the big 3 tasks that I want to get done? And so that's what I write down and that's what I work on. But you really need to have a place that has all of the work that you know that needs to happen. And so it's very easy to get bogged down in the day-to-day tasks, and you have all of this stuff in your head and you just need to get it out. And so that's where a project management software like Asana is very, very helpful. So the way that Asana is structured, if you look along the left-hand side, I just have different, what they're called, projects. And so everything that you see here with a color and then a name is an actual project. And so it's where work happens within. And so we have certain areas of our Asana that have our client work. We have certain areas of Asana that have our sales and marketing work. We have places in our Asana that have our bookkeeping work. And so this is really where, think of Asana as like your brain, and everything that happens in your business, everything that you want to have happen in your business, All of those little things that you have to keep up with can really all live within a project management software like Asana. Now, another thing that's great about Asana is that you're able to share it with your team. And not all the project management softwares are as easy to share as this one. But I have a team that's a remote team, and we actually span even outside the US. And so we have people everywhere, literally around the world, that are helping with our client work. And so it's important that I have a project management system that's able to support a team that can be all over the world. So in this particular example, I'm going to show you, these are just a few sample bookkeeping tasks that you want to do for your business. And what you'll notice is that I have different sections here in my project management software. So all I've done here in Asana is just create a project. And so I just have this team, it's called Launches and Funnels, and I simply clicked Add, and I just created a blank project. And I named the project Sample Bookkeeping Task right here. We can see the name of it. And then I just created it, and it was blank, and there was nothing in here at all. So in Asana, you have different views that you can have. You have an overview tab, but you can really view the information in a lot of different ways. So one way that you can view the information is in a list view. You can also view the information in a board view, which I really like. You can also, if you have a paid version of the software, also be able to see a timeline view. So you're not going to see anything populate in my timeline because I haven't given due dates to any of this work. So you just see that it has the sections: daily, weekly, monthly, and then complete. And then you also have a calendar view. So again, once I have due dates for these items, it would then show up in a calendar view. So the nice thing is, if you want to see your stuff in a board view, but a team member wants to see it in a list view, they can just move over to the list view and work from there. It really is very flexible to whoever's wanting to use it. So let's go back to this board view. And so again, notice that it's daily, weekly, monthly, complete. The boards within Asana are all customizable, so I can create other sections if I want to. But for bookkeeping purposes, you typically are going to have work that you want to do daily, and then weekly, and then monthly. Now, there's also some things that you might need to do quarterly. You might have to do some tax filings or some tax payments, either for payroll or for your business taxes. But I'm really not covering that in this video. We're just talking about the very basics. So daily, what you can do is you can have a task to just categorize your transactions. And that means just going into your accounting software and looking at, what you currently have that hasn't been accepted. So maybe some credit card transactions or some bank transactions. So you're basically just categorizing those by saying, this expense was for office supplies. This expense was for meals. So that's what categorizing the transactions are. Now, you can also do that weekly. It just depends on the size of your business. If you start to really grow, then weekly can take you a little bit of time, and you might want to stay on top of that on a daily basis. And weekly, we have some tasks. For example, you can review your receivables, you can review your payables, and we get more into detail if you're looking at some of these weekly tasks and thinking, what's involved in this? This is actually what we get further into in my upcoming course called the Bookkeeper's Blueprint, which you'll see more information on soon. But we really dive into some of these things like reviewing and updating your budgets and YNAB, invoicing your clients, reviewing receivables, reviewing payables, and then also looking at time tracking on projects. So if you have client projects and you're managing time or you're tracking time, that's something that you want to look at on a weekly basis, is just to see how your team is performing on the time. And then if you had budgets associated with that, how you're doing according to your budget with time. And then monthly, you're going to have your reconciliation. So that's where you cut a bank statement and you're going to be reconciling your account in your accounting software with your bank statement. And really what that does is it makes sure that everything the bank said you spent or made is also reflected in your accounting software. So it's really one and the same. That's why it's called to reconcile. You just want to make sure that it's all correct. And so a little bit about how this works. So if I want to do this for my business and I want to reconcile the account, my credit card, for example, my statement is always available, or the closing date of my credit card is the 21st of every month. And so what I will do is go in and set a due date, and right now it's May. So I would actually go and say, I think by the 25th I could have that finished. Now in Asana, what I'm able to do is repeat this task, and then I can tell Asana how often I want to repeat the task. So in this case, this is a monthly task, so I'm going to report monthly. And then I'm able to just save this, and then I can close. The other thing I want to do is assign. So I'm going to assign this to whoever on my team is going to work on this, and then I can simply close the task. So now, because I have a due date, you might remember there were some other views that you can then see. So what I can do is go to a calendar view and have a nice out. I can see that I need to reconcile the credit card account by the 25th. Now, the nice thing about Asana that I'll also offer here is when you click on the due date, you also have an option to add a start date. So this is also helpful if you have a team and you've given them some deliverables and you want them to be able to start it on a certain day and then finish on a certain day. This is very helpful actually for the timeline view. So for example, I said that my statement is usually available, or the closing date is on the 21st. So I should be able to go into my credit card account and download that statement on the 22nd. So I'm actually going to put a start date of the 22nd, and my due date remains at the 25th. All I do is just click off of that and then close it. What's nice about adding a start and end date is now when I go to a timeline view, I can see the person that is assigned, and I can also see how long I've given them to complete that task. So this is really helpful, especially for tasks that are more project type tasks. Let's say that you're building websites or you're building an e-commerce site for a particular client. You can estimate the amount of time and what week they're going to be working on that work, or what weeks that they will be covering. So this is just a little bit of a high-level view of Asana and this particular project management tool, and then some things that you might want to look at on a daily, a weekly, and a monthly basis. So I hope this information has been helpful. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about our new channel. We're so excited to be here on YouTube. And also subscribe and share this with your friends. I'm looking forward to sharing more about our upcoming course, The Bookkeeper's Blueprint, very soon. It is in the works as we speak, and I can't wait to help more of you be able to simplify and organize your bookkeeping for winning results and greater profits. Talk with you guys soon.